me. Today we're going to be doing a Swiss ball workout with some dumbbells. I have 2 pounds and 5 pounds with me for this workout. But feel free to have heavier or lighter weights nearby. You never know how you're going to be feeling throughout some of the exercises, and you can change out as needed. We're going to start with just the ball and our mat to begin. So go ahead and have a seat with your legs straight forward in front of you. Give yourself enough space behind you to lay down onto your back. Hold onto the ball with your hands on either side. Straighten the arms forward in front of you. Sit up nice and straight. Flex the feet. Take an inhale through the nose. Grow tall through the spine. Exhale, roll all the way down to your back, 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Recruit the core. Roll yourself all the way back up to that upright position. Again, inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, rolling straight down the center of your spine. Inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Reach the heels away from you and roll yourself all the way back up. Let's do 2 more of those. Be sure to keep your shoulders anchored away from your ears. Keep your collarbone nice and wide. The ball will really help you to avoid from collapsing in on yourself. Last time coming up. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, roll down just 1/4 of the way into your C curve. Exhale, lift both of your arms up overhead. Inhale to come back to shoulder height. Exhale, lift the arms up overhead. Inhale to come back to shoulder height. So each time lifting up those arms, I'm exhaling forcefully and trying to pull the abs in tighter to the spine, protecting the low back, keeping those heels heavy on the floor. Then we're going to tap the ball to one side of your mat. Lift it back up overhead and tap it to the other side of the mat. And lift it back up overhead. Continue alternating on your own. Keep your lower half completely stationary. So no movement of the legs. Just moving through the ribs, shoulders, and upper spine. Well, let's do that 2 more times. Ending with your arms up overhead. Biceps in line with the ears. Give me a few little crunches here. Every time you lean back, exhaling. Let's go for 5, 4. Keep those elbows straight. 3, 2. Last time, you're going to roll all the way down your back, 1 vertebrae at a time. Then we're going to draw our legs up to a tabletop position. Knees up over hips. Place the ball with your knees on the ball and your hands on the ball for dead bug. Placing pressure in on the ball with your hands and knees. So exhale, push like you're trying to pop the ball in with your hands and knees. You should feel your core recruit quite a bit. And then inhale, just kind of relax a little bit, release some of the pressure on your hands and knees. Exhale, push. Inhale, relax. Exhale, push. Inhale, relax. Do that a couple more times. Make sure you're driving your lower back firmly into the mat, working on your Pilates imprint. Now, from here, keeping that Pilates imprint, extend your right arm and your left leg off of the ball. Return to your starting point, and then switch. Left arm, right leg, and switch. Alternating on your own, nice and slow. Feel that your hand and your knee leave the ball at the same time and come back at the same time. If you do this correctly, you'll really feel this in your abdominals. It is a heavy ab workout. Looks very deceiving, but it's quite challenging. Let's do 2 more. Last time. Then we're going to take the ball into our hands, holding the sides of it, reaching the arms to the ceiling. From here, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Reach the ball over your shins. Stay lifted. We take a little modified double leg stretch. Reach the arms and legs out, and then come back to your starting position. Exhale, reach the arms and legs away from each other. Inhale, come back to your starting position.
Keep feeling those abs sinking tightly into the spine and keep pressing the lower back into the mat. If your back is arching, keep your legs higher. It's got to stay flat. 2 more. 1 more. Stay extended. Really straight legs. Lift the arms and legs all the way up towards the ceiling and then lower them only as low as you can maintain imprint. Exhale, lift the legs up. Inhale, lower the legs away. 2 more. If it's too much on your neck, you can always place your head down. Last time. Then you may rest. Hug those knees to your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. That's a tough ab series straight off the bat here. So we'll give our abs a little bit of a break and we'll move into some bridge work. Placing the ball down by your feet. Arches on top of the ball about 4 or 5 inches apart. Start with your kneecaps directly over your hip joints and then arms just anchored down by your sides. Without moving the ball, we're going to take an exhale as we slowly imprint the lumbar spine. Roll the hips up 1 vertebrae at a time. Take an inhale through your nose, stay lifted. Exhale as you slowly roll your spine back down to the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time. Through imprint, back to neutral spine. Again, exhales as you imprint the lumbar spine. Roll the hips up. Creating a straight line from your knee to your shoulders. And then exhales, roll back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's do 2 more just like that. Definitely squeezing those glutes so your hamstrings aren't the only thing working. At the top of this next bridge, remain in your lifted position. Once here, start to pulse the hips, small pelvic thrust. So you're hinging from the hip joint. Keep your neck and your shoulders as relaxed as possible. And keep your ball really stationary. Without rolling through the spine, lower the hips directly to the mat and pick them directly back up. Inhale down, exhale up, down, and up. And again, those hamstrings should be toasty toast. Let's go for 3, 2. Last time, stay lifted up, hold. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, roll the spine all the way down. Gently extend the legs up to the ceiling. I like to just grab the ball with my fingertips so it doesn't fly away. Flex your feet. Feel that stretch the hammies. All right, we're gonna come back into a Pilates V. So heels together, toes apart. From here, arms are at your sides. Without moving the ball, roll the hips up. Stand flat on top of the ball with your feet if you can. Then from there, you're gonna extend the legs straight, squeezing them together. You can point your feet. Hips should have lowered in line with the rest of your body. Then you're gonna flex the feet, dig down through your heels, lift the hips up back into high bridge. So point the feet as you extend the legs straight, squeeze the inner thighs and glutes together tight. Exhale, dig down through the heels, lift up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull. 2 more. Last one. Finishing nicely, take an inhale through your nose. Exhales, roll all the way down. Reach those legs straight up to the ceiling again. Flex your feet, grab your calves. Give yourself a little stretch. All right, from here we're gonna rock ourselves all the way up. We'll take a little brief intermission, do spine stretch forward with the ball. So separate your feet so they're about as wide as your mat. Flex the feet, 10 toes facing the ceiling, and then just bring your fingertips up on top of the ball with your hands about shoulder width apart. Take an inhale, sit tall. Exhale, nod your chin toward your chest. Push the ball forward in front of you. Feel that nice length through the hamstrings. Stay here. Take a full inhale through the nose. Exhales, restack the spine. 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, nod the chin, roll the ball forward in front of you. Think of reaching your heels forward and reaching your sit bones backwards. And exhale, restack. One more time. It should feel really nice on the hamstrings after that bridge that we just did. And exhales up. All right, great. So this next exercise is a little reverse plank, and then we'll play around with a pretend tendon stretch. So we'll start with the reverse plank. You're gonna have your feet come up on top of the ball, come into a Pilates V, so heels together, toes apart. Heels of the hands at the edges of your mat. I like to have my fingers facing out to the sides of the room versus straight out behind me. It's up to you, whatever feels best on your wrists. You can always change. Okay, so we're gonna squeeze the glutes, soften the elbows so they're not locked out, and you're gonna lift your hips up into a reverse plank. Now keep your chin close to your chest, look towards your feet. Feel that you're a straight line from your feet to your shoulders, and then slowly place the hips back down onto the mat, bringing them back towards you as you sit down. As you lift your hips up, the ball should roll forward. Take an inhale through the nose, make sure your elbows aren't hyperextending, and then exhale, place the hips back down, bringing the ball back towards you. So let's do it a couple more times. Definitely keeping those legs nice and strong and straight. One more like this, and then we'll move into our tendon stretch on the mat. All right, so tendon stretch here. We're gonna come into our same starting position. You're gonna lift up, hold. Now, instead of touching the floor with your tush, your glutes are gonna skim the floor. You're gonna bring your hips underneath you, lean forward, and then you're gonna press yourself right back up into that reverse plank. So exhale as you go forward, knees and nose come close together. Inhale as you come back up. It's tricky. You gotta really push down through your shoulders to give yourself that clearance. Couple more. Last time. The hard is what makes it great. Hold the reverse plank and nicely come down from there. Place the feet down on either side of the ball and take a nice well-deserved forward fold there. Okay, we'll make our way up onto all fours, or up onto our knees, sorry. We're gonna scoot back, give yourself some space. You can do this with your feet just flat on your mat, or if you have a wall that you can put your feet against just so that you don't slide. That's really handy for these next couple of exercises. I'm just gonna conveniently use my shoulder rests because they're right here. So you're gonna tuck your toes under and just lift yourself up so that the ball is right underneath your abdomen, but ideally your chest is still off of the ball here because we're gonna be working into our spinal extensors. So once you feel secure with your feet about shoulder width apart, legs straight, create this long line from your ear all the way down to your heels. We'll start with just the fingertips on the floor. Let's rotate the thumbs to face forward. Exhales to lift the arms up. Inhales to lightly touch the fingertips to the mat. And exhales to lift up. And inhale to touch down. This exercise is really good for the muscles along our spine. Our spinal extensors here, which are great for strengthening and improving our postural muscles. Keep the back of your neck long in line with your spine once you know what you're doing, looking down. 2 more. 1 more. Good. If you need a break, just bend your knees, slide down off the back of the ball, let your back round. You can stay there and watch the next variation or join me right off the bat if you're ready. We'll have our fingertips just to the sides of the mat. You're gonna lift your arms sideways
and touch down. Exhale, sideways and touch down. Strengthening the same muscle groups along the spine. Don't forget to keep your legs nice and active and the muscles along your spine nice and active. Now, keeping the arms lifted up at shoulder height here, palms down. You're going to pull your hands to your thighs, lift your chest up a little bit more. Come back out into the letter T and lower your chest some. Lift the chest a little bit as you bring your hands to your thighs. Lower the chest a little bit as you open your arms. 3 more. Like a reverse sit-up. 2 more. Last time there. And then you would recommend bending the knees, sliding off the back of the ball, and take a little break. This is also a time to grab your light weights. We're gonna do a lot of the same exercises that we just did here with the weights in the hands. So if it was hard enough or you have some shoulder injuries going on, do this without the weights, okay? So grab your 2-pounders. Mine are too far to try to reach like that. And then again, position your feet, shoulder width apart, toes tucked under, and then belly is on the ball. You're gonna straighten the legs, make sure you're secure, and then bring the weights forward in front of you. Stand the weights up in a vertical upright position. So we're gonna combine all of the arm movements. So exhale, lift the arms up. Inhale, touch back down. Exhale, lift, biceps in line with the ears. Inhale, down. It's amazing how these little 2-pound weights really change the exercise, make it so much harder. One more like that. Keep the arms lifted, hold. Straight knees, straight elbows. Lower the arms down. You can take a break. Then you're gonna have the weights facing in towards each other next. From here, lift the arms up, shoulder height, and come back down, touch the floor for a second. Exhale, lift, lower, lift, lower. Straight knees, tight abs, keeping the back of the neck long in line with the spine. Keep the arms lifted up. Now from here, rotate the palms of your hands to face your thighs, lift your chest. Rotate the palms to face the ground, lower the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Pull those abs in as you extend your spine. Last 3. Last 2. Last time. Lower the weights down on the mat in front of you, bend the knees around your spine, over the ball, take a little breath. Move the weights off to the side. And then we're gonna lay all the way over the ball with our feet off of the ground. So make sure you have enough space. You want your pelvis to be right at the top of the ball, okay? Your hands are gonna come onto the mat in front of you. I'll move these weights a little bit. Okay, so from here, we've got our shoulders above our wrists, we've got our legs lifted, parallel to the floor, and we've created this straight line from our back of our neck down to our toes. You're gonna actually relax the glutes and hammies a little bit, let the legs lower several inches, and then contract the glutes and hammies and lift the legs back up. So we're just lowering the legs, lift, lower, lift. Keep your shoulders completely stationary right on top of your wrist. Feel the movement coming from the hip joint, not from the lower back or anything like that. We should already feel the glutes and hamstrings. Keep the legs lifted up, parallel to the ground. Take swimming with the legs. So little alternating kicks, feeling each leg lifting up from the hip joint. Little to no movement in the upper body. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the legs still. Straighten them, point your feet. From here, we're going to bend our elbows
They're gonna point backwards towards the ball as legs lift towards the ceiling, and then push yourself back up into that starting point. So inhale, bend the elbows, extend the legs up. Exhale, push yourself back up. 3 more, inhale, bend. High legs. Exhale, push. 2 more, inhale, bend. Exhale, push. And 1 more time, inhale, bend. And exhale, push. So come off the ball, bend the knees, slither off the back. Again, you can round your spine. Take a breath. Okay. Next, we're going to be coming into a forearm plank on the ball. So we'll have our elbows and forearms. I like to place them right at the top apex of the ball. Interlace your fingers, and your hands are going to be off of the ball a little bit. When you're in the plank, you don't want your arms to look like this. You want the forearms to be parallel to the ground. You push down, okay? Have your feet a few inches apart, like maybe 4 or 5. Tuck the toes under. Gently lift the knees, recruiting the core, and coming up into this plank. So we want to press our fist down towards the ground, even though they're not touching the ball. We want to feel that our scapulas are flat across the backs of our ribs. And we're just trying to find absolute stillness. Very difficult to do on a very unstable ball. Begin to press the ball forwards a few inches, back a few inches, forward a few inches, back a few inches. Start small. We got it. Let's go for 3. Careful if you're sweaty, you get slippery. 2, 1. Bend the knees, place the knees down. Take a child's pose, hands up on the ball, hips to heels. We'll do that 1 more time, adding on to it. So when you're ready, come back up, elbows and forearms, feet a few inches apart again. Lift the knees and come up. Check in, make sure everything's good. Squeeze the glutes. Pull your right knee towards the right side of the ball. Press it out and switch. Left knee to the left side of the ball. Alternate slowly on your own. Opening that knee wide to the side as it comes up. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees, place them down. Take another child's pose, arms up on the ball. We'll give you a nice shoulder stretch. Next, we're gonna move into some side overs. So you wanna be able to have your feet against a wall, or if you have a setup like this, your shoulder rests. You're gonna have the ball close to you. You're going to place your body, it's a little precarious, so be careful, over the side of the ball. You want to have your legs straight with your legs staggered. So my top foot, top hip is to the front, and then my bottom hip is to the back. My inner thighs are squeezed together tightly, and this ball is right underneath my hip and rib cage, so that my upper body is slightly hanging over the side of the ball. Be careful because it's really easy to fall forwards or backwards. So the first few, I always keep my hand kind of close to the floor in case I need to catch myself. The top arm is going to come onto the side of your leg. We're going to take an inhale to go over the side of the ball. Exhale to contract the obliques and come up into that diagonal. Inhale to go down. Let your head go. Exhales to come up. If you feel confident in your balance, take your hand behind your head and continue. Inhale down, exhale up. If you move forward and backwards, you're gonna lose your balance. So you wanna stay completely flat, like a pancake, going straight up and down. If you still feel confident in your balance, you bring your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Keep your legs super straight, pushing those feet into the side of the wall. Let's go for 3. We should be getting really tired. 2. 1 more. Excellent job. You can come down from there carefully. Take a little breather. I just blew up my ball, so it's really bouncy. All right, let's do the other side. So careful, take your time turning around. Remember which leg's gonna be to the front. It's gonna be the hip that's closest to the ceiling. Bottom leg is gonna be the one that goes to the back. Use your bottom arm to help support your body weight while you adjust that ball so that you're laying in the center of it and it's right underneath your rib and hip. Place your top arm onto your top leg. Bottom hand's gonna stay on the floor for some guidance. Make sure that you're in the right spot. Inhale as you go over the ball. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you go over the ball. Exhale as you come up. As you start to feel more and more balanced, see, it's really obvious if you're not in the right spot. You can bring your hand behind your head if you feel balanced. Be careful. If you don't find the balance on one side versus the other, then that's quite okay. There we go. So my hips were definitely not stacked enough, which was why the ball kept rolling forward on me, or I was rolling forward and the ball was rolling backwards. Then if you start to feel more and more advanced, bring both hands behind the head, elbows wide. Three more. It's definitely one of my favorite exercises on the ball. The risk is worth the reward. All right, when you're done, you can come down off the ball carefully. We'll do our last exercise, which is going to be some pikes. So it's also a little bit of a dangerous exercise, so be careful standing up. We're going to walk to the back of the mat. Hopefully you guys have enough space. You're going to place your shin bones down on the ball. Walk over the top of it and come into a plank with your, I'm going to push it out a little bit more, shin bones on top of the ball, pointed feet, shoulders directly over the wrists, and hold. This might be as far as you go today, depending on your level and comfort, but if you want to progress, let's start with scooters. Bend the knees in, exhale, extend the legs straight. Inhale, bend the knees. The ball should roll pretty much onto your feet. Exhale, extend. Do a couple of those. Keep your hands nice and big. And then holding the plank with 2 straight legs. If you need to take a break, you can. If you would like to continue, pike the hips to the ceiling, drop the head, slowly take it back out into your plank. Exhale, push down through the hands, lift the hips up. Inhale, slowly back out into the plank. I'm only going to do 4. You can do as many as you want. 1 more for me. To come off of the ball, place 1 knee down at a time to get down safely. And that's all I've got for you today. I am nice and sweaty. I hope you guys are too. I hope you had fun playing around with the Swiss ball today. It's a lot of fun to incorporate it into your Pilates practice. Thank you guys for joining me. Please like this video, comment below, and share it with your friends who might also enjoy it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.